want all of you fucking marks out there to always keep it kinky.
Yo, yo, yo. What it do, what it do? It is another glorious Sunday. It is March 30th to be exact. And this is the Freebird Rules Podcast. Can I get some snaps? Okay, there you go. We're going to keep it cool. We're going to keep it clean. We're going to keep it wrestling.
Clean?
I don't know about the clean part.
Clean's a bit cool.
I'm trying to set us off on a high note. I'm trying to manifest it. Is what I'm trying to do.
Oh,
Fuck that shit.
set a high.
I'm your humble host. Khan.
Oh, he's not done.
I'm not done. I'm your humble host, Khan, aka Khan from the 703. And to my left, I got this guy over here with the headphones on. Give us your name, sir.
I am Nick, NIQ. Nick with a Q.
Nick with a Q.
Nick.wave on social media.
Who I got on my right? Red flannel. Very McFoley-ish. Introduce yourself, bud.
Hi. I'm Hambone.
Hi.
That's it. I'm Hambone. Hi again.
The big show.
Big Shaho.
How we doing, boys? What's going
Big
on?
Shaho.
By
the way,
doing good.
You know, you did miss something in your introduction, though, Con.
Did I?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, give me it.
You didn't make sure to let people know that they don't know you.
They don't.
I feel like we have to say that.
If that's in the tagline, do I have to say it?
I mean, I feel like we live in an era where it's pretty clear that people don't really pay that much attention, you know?
Even though this is a visual podcast.
Just saying.
Okay.
Just making
Fair.
a point.
Fair.
There could
I
be
think
people
you
in the
should
car who are only
I think you
listening
should
audio.
reiterate. That's all.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Can I do it over?
Yeah, you do it.
Go for it.
What's going on, you kooky kids and funky cats? It's your boy Con from the 703, hailing from Virginia by way of Davenport, Florida. And as a pleasant reminder, you don't motherfucking know me.
There we go.
I like it.
How's
There
that,
you go.
bro? How's that, man?
That was better.
That worked?
I appreciated that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I need to be reminded, you know, that I kind of know you. You know, I don't know you as good as this guy. I kind of know you, but everybody else, you know, I got to be reminded of my place. You know what I mean?
You know what? And it takes a different type of person to be that self-aware. Because I feel like that's not. I feel like we don't have a lot of that in today's society. We don't have a lot of self-awareness.
I'd agree with that.
So you just saying that, I thank you. I appreciate you. Am I off by saying you're an American hero? Is that off? Am I off?
I mean, I don't think that I deserve that. You know what I mean? I don't think
But like, I mean, okay. You know what? Let's just agree to disagree. Yeah.
I appreciate you for saying that.
Sure. We can rock with that.
What is Dot Wave over here doing? What's this guy doing over here? He's fingering through something.
My mouse died.
Oh, been there. What you got? The Logitech?
It's just like, is it Logitech? I don't know.
I got Logitech, man.
Yeah, like literally the battery had just died and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't mute my mic or nothing. So I was like, fuck.
Been there.
Professional podcast right here.
Been
Always
there, King.
professional, bro. There's always something going on. How was I supposed to predict something like that? It just stopped in the middle of the screen and everything. You know what I mean?
You
Should
can
be
never
testing
grapple
our
with the fan with some
batteries
shit like
every
that.
Sunday.
You can never
guess
grapple
so.
with shit like that, bro.
Yeah, I know. Fucking A. All right. Anyway.
So I went to Comic-Con yesterday and met Billy Gunn and Lita again.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you get photos
How was
for
that?
him?
What's that?
Did you get any photos?
No, I just had them sign stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Fuck
I
yeah.
told I told Billy Gunn about the first time that I met him and why I will always remember it thanks to him. Have I told you guys that story or no?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'll hear it again.
This is
Yeah, I'm gonna hear it
this is years ago, right? This is in between, like, you know, this is before AEW even was around. So he had already left WWE. He was doing some New Japan stuff. And there is a company, I guess I won't name them because it's kind of not a good look for them.
Yeah,
But they were doing a indie show here, and they had a lot of names there. Billy Gunn was there, like I said. Scott Steiner was there. Sabu, I believe, was there. And before the show, they were doing, you know, meet and greet. So it was actually at our local minor league baseball stadium. So they have, you know, the ring on the field, and then like all the guys had set up tables, like, you know, going around to do the meet and greets.
right.
So the biggest name there was Sting. Sting was not wrestling. He was just there for a meet and greet. So all the guys have tables set up except for Sting. Sting is off in a room, a private room by himself, right? So I get in there. I get a couple people's autographs, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to get Sting. Like, how many chances am I getting to meet Sting? You know? So I go down there. I walk in, and I'm, you know, trying to find, you know, who am I paying here? And I'm told by them that Sting was pre-ordered only. And I went, it doesn't say anywhere on any of your shit that this was pre-orders only.
Damn.
They turned me away, right? So I walk out. I'm not happy.
Yeah,
I go up to Billy Gunn. I get my my photo and my autograph with him. And he asked me, you know, how's your day going? I said, well, it was okay until a couple minutes ago. And he asked me what happened, and I told him. And he gets up from his table and he goes, come with me. And he walks me right back to that room, and he just starts dressing down the employees. Just, if this guy wants to pay money to meet Sting, you fucking let him pay his money. You don't turn away fans, just up and down, dressing them. Huh?
What year was this?
I don't know. I would say, if I were guessing, I'd say it's probably like 2017, 2018, somewhere in there.
Okay,
so they let me meet Sting because he walked his ass back there and said, yeah.
Who's gonna tell
and he didn't have to do that. He had already gotten his money from me. You know what I'm saying? He did not have to do that for me. So I will always remember that. And anytime anybody asks me, you know, who are some of the nicest guys you've met, his name is always on that list because I'll always remember that because he did not have to do that for me.
And you brought that up to him this last time you saw him.
Yep, I told him about it, and he was like, yeah, he was like, well, I appreciate that. He was like, I just hate that shit. He was like, this is what we do. He was like, the whole point of a meet and greet is for us to be accessible to you guys. And if we're not accessible to you guys, then what are we doing here? You know, you guys are paying your money to meet us. It shouldn't matter whether you missed a pre-order or anything like that. So he seemed appreciative of it.
It's also not like you try to do it for free either. You had money ready. Like, you know, like, why are they turning down money?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
I never heard of a pre-order for some. I've never heard of that. I never heard of that, but
I mean, they do a lot. I mean, a lot of meet and greets they do pre-orders, but it's the first time I've ever been told this is pre-order only, and you cannot pay at the table.
Only.
That's
that's crazy.
That's still crazy though, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have never forgot that shit.
Yeah.
Round of applause for
yeah. Give it up for Billy Gunn, everybody.
That's like invite to
other ass.
That's like invite to the wedding worthy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That was my opening banter. I also found some old Con. I don't know if you remember when you were a kid. Did you buy like the old like bone crunching action Jax figures? I know you're a couple years younger than me, so maybe this was already after your time.
I'm not ringing the bell.
No, okay. Well, that was my era that I grew up in. That's who made WWE action figures was Jax, and their whole thing was that it was called bone crunching action, where like their knees and their elbows, you could bend them and they would crack. Right? So that was like every single one of my weekends was my mom bringing me to fucking Toys R Us so I could buy
you anatomically correct toys.
Huh?
Bringing you anatomically correct toys.
Exactly. Yep. It cost $5 to buy an action figure when I was a kid. $5.
Now, what if the toys could scream when you twist them?
There's probably some out there that do that. They had those, and those were
toy.
Those were the ones of my childhood, and those are the ones like when I started getting like a little bit older, I started fucking around with like customizing them.
Yeah.
So I just fucking destroyed all of them. Right. So now I'm an adult and like, damn, I wish I had all those back. Right. So I found a couple there and I bought a couple of them. And then after the Bone Crunch in action, right, they went to another company.
Jesus Christ.
They went to another company.
Crazy, yo. We gotta start. My bad to cut you off, bro. We have to investigate some of these toys that we had as kids because looking back, bro, why would they make some of this shit? I remember they made I think it was WWE. I think WWE made a toy. I think they made a toy. I swear it was WWE where they made that they in the commercial, which thinking back is wild, where they were like, I forgot how they said it, but
I feel like I know where you're going, but let's see.
They were trying to pitch was that the toys like felt like real human skin or some shit like that.
Ew.
Yeah,
so
bro.
Here's where I was going. So after Bone Crunch in action, right? They made ones that were called Titantron Live, right? Okay. So they made the stage, right? The stage that they would come out of.
Yeah.
And they made the action figures. And in the foot of the action figures, there was a little chip. You would place that chip on this little part of the entrance, and it would play their music.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
But here is the weirdest one. I don't even remember what they were called, but they made these ones that were like extremely like they were like over exaggerated, like their muscles, and they were huge, like they were like superheroes, right?
Yeah.
But what you would do is you'd put there was a little compartment in the back. You'd put a little bit of water in it, press a button, it'd make them sweat.
Ew.
Yeah.
What is? I don't need my toys to do that.
I gotta find what they were called now. But
I don't need my toys to sweat.
Make them sweat.
If they're gonna make the toy sweat, they should have at least provided.
They were called Maximum Sweat.
Ew.
Okay, look at this. Look at this.
Salty.
Maximum Sweat.
Oh, come on.
Gun, right?
Come on, bro. We don't need any of that.
Yep. Put a little bit of water in a compartment in the back. Press a button, and sweat came out of the action figure.
So if at least they can do is provide like little deodorant for the toy. Sheila was saying,
we don't do deodorant in wrestling,
bro. Sheila just brought up like a crazy memory. You remember them toys, them baby dolls that like you gave them a bottle and like they pissed themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. We need to investigate these fucking toys.
Oh, that shit was weird.
That was weird.
I want to see. Hold on.
Although Easy Bake Oven, I ain't gonna hold you.
That shit was hard.
I'm gonna be right back. Hold on.
He's looking for something.
He got the doll.
He has a doll that pisses itself.
He got the doll that pisses itself.
This man don't even have kids. There's no reason for that man to have that doll.
Yeah, why you got that?
I don't have that one.
I was about to say,
we'll take it though. All right, so here's my bone crunching action, right?
Oh, that's the bone crushing action.
That's Billy Gunn, right?
Mr. Ass.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear it.
No.
No. Yeah, I can hear it.
It's supposed to make noises like bones shattering.
Yeah. So like you would be wrestling them, and like you could put them in a submission, and bend their knees and shit, and you'd hear them crack.
Jesus Christ.
This is why we're desensitized to every fucking thing.
Right, yo.
Yeah, yeah. Why doesn't your generation care about death? Because we had fucking
Because they made toys that had built-in arthritis.
yeah.
We had action figures that we used to physically torture. That's why.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That sweat all over us and pissed all over
Jesus
us.
Fucking
Christ.
wild.
All right. I don't know how to transition out of that conversation. I think we're just gonna start.
Some odd toys, yo.
Yeah.
All right, so what we talking about?
We got a lot to talk about today. There's a lot of shit happened in the last couple weeks that maybe we haven't really touched on, and then this week alone kind of had a lot of things too. So let's start with something that's a little relative to the show. No one can tell me that Papa H and Papa Khan do not watch our show, because the minute we granted and crowned Will Ospreay with the best drip of 2024, they put this out.
Oh,
And this is what he was wearing in his winning out.
Exactly what he was wearing when we crowned him the victor. So,
We're just saying.
A, this is
John
drip or
Cena
drag.
follows us, and Triple H and Tony Khan watch us.
They have burner
Clear.
accounts, and they follow us somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And they watch us right now.
DK's got to fix it.
Yeah.
TX.
I mean, I don't blame him. I don't.
First of all, is this a drip or a drag right here?
I like it. I think
It's-
it's pretty cool.
It's flashy, but that's like I said in the chat. It's flashy, but it's a good flashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta you gotta wear some basics with this.
I was about to say, yeah, like everything else has to be just like
Pattern.
solid and simple because that's
Yeah.
pretty
Or
busy.
jeans. Yeah. You gotta wear some like jeans or black jeans or
Yep.
something like that.
You got
But
a
I would
plain
definitely
white or
wear
black
that.
T-shirt underneath this. You're good.
yeah.
If I went to another AEW show and I had this, I'd definitely wear that.
Yeah. That's definitely like you could rock that for sure.
Mhm.
But I just thought this was really funny because it really dropped like I think like the Tuesday after we had just done the show.
Mhm.
And then Shop AEW was like, "Oh, we're gonna do this now," and like this is like 8 months old at this point. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty crazy.
so I thought that was really funny. But yeah, that was really interesting. This is something we talked about briefly. I don't know if it was after the podcast or.
What's up?
Yeah, but-
Oh,
this is something we talked about briefly after the podcast, or like right when the podcast is going off air.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
right after WrestleMania, they're supposed to be doing a roast of WrestleMania, featuring Tony Hinchcliffe. Which, if you guys don't know, Tony Hinchcliffe runs a platform called Kill Tony, and he recently did a set at one of Donald Trump's rallies or congressional fucking hearings, whatever it was.
Fuck you,
And
motherfucker. All that shit.
he called Puerto Rico basically trash, a trash country. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't know why WWE went with Tony Hinchcliff. I don't think
Yeah, you do.
roast.
I was about to say, you know why?
Well, hold on.
You know why?
I know why, but I'm saying if you're gonna make a roast, I don't know why you're doing Tony Hinchcliffe, because when I think of roast, I think of Jeff Ross or
Jeff
people
Ross
of
is
that
the only
nature.
person I think of, matter of fact.
It's the only person I think of. So for
It's felt-
us to
it felt
go
like-
out of our way
it felt like-
to, you said what?
Felt like a statement. Could
It's
be just how
definitely a
I'm interpreting it. It could be how I'm interpreting it, but it felt like a statement.
It feels like a statement, especially because they're not televising it at all, which I think is weird.
Oh,
So
they're
they're
not?
just gonna do it. No, they're just gonna do it live at this venue here, Fontainebleau in Vegas, and that's just gonna kind of happen. I don't know if they're gonna release it on Netflix later or something, but
I don't even know if the Hall of Fame is being aired this year because it's not. Usually they do it right after SmackDown. They're not. They're giving it its own thing this year, and they have not said once, "Hey, this is on Netflix or Peacock or nothing." So
that surprised me a little more than this, honestly, because that
feel like-
thing's last year's was awesome.
I feel
I
like
loved watching last year's.
I feel like WWE is making a lot of statements lately. This
That's
one,
how I feel.
and then the little Grande Americano Gulf of America
Oh well,
reference.
don't get ahead of me. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Well, I didn't know.
Yeah, don't get ahead of me. Yeah,
About
but yeah. This I have a theory about this in particular. And it's not really like a theory as to why they're doing it, but as a result of what's going to happen. I feel like because of who Bad Bunny is, we're probably never going to see him in WWE again.
That's a damn shame if that's the case.
I love seeing Bad Bunny wrestle.
Bunny.
Which is pretty wild considering Bad Bunny is one of the biggest stars in the world. And
I mean, I would say he's the biggest
guy,
music star in the world today.
Like you choose this guy over that.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Just to make a statement to your fellow Red Hats. Weird. But yeah, I really think Bad Bunny's also been in his political bag as of late. It was like recently he's been doing things a little more politically charged. So this kind of makes me think that if that's where his mind is at, that something like this doesn't just fly under his radar at all. Like this is pretty alarming to someone like Bad Bunny currently.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Bad Bunny may not even care about this.
Maybe.
I'm just speculating that this could be a consequence to this action. I don't get the choice. I understand, like, obviously we get the choice, but like we don't get the choice, right? So that's kind of what I'm thrown off about. But
because let's not pretend like WWE doesn't have Jeff Ross money, because they do.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it costs more right now to get Tony Hinchcliffe because of who he is right now than it would be to get Jeff Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Like WWE got any comedian money.
Yeah,
I mean, they got Fluffy showing up every week, and Fluffy's one of the biggest comedians right now, in my opinion. Gabriel Iglesias. He's always showing up to things.
He hosts one of their shows on A&E.
Yeah, he hosts one of the shows.
Yeah, so it's like if they got him, I mean, they could easily get Jeff Ross. You know, I feel like people who don't know who roasts are, they don't really know who Jeff Ross is. So, like, it's not like Jeff Ross is like this A-lister. Like, he's known for the roast. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like, so this is a weird choice to me.
Yeah, I don't get the play.
Handbone brought this up. I missed the entire thing that happened here. I missed this part of Netflix. I forgot Netflix was on it for this week, so I missed like the first half or something like that. Or I know I caught a little bit of the John Cena stuff, but I missed a little bit of the rest of it. I don't know when this happened, but I don't know what are we doing. What are we doing here?
Wait, what are you talking about?
My bad. I did the wrong thing.
So here's the thing, right? So I we put up the Tony Hinchcliffe thing, and we say that we feel like that's a statement, and then there's part of me that goes, is it though? And this is why, because they did this little vignette for them for El Grande Americano, this gimmick they're doing with Chad Gable, and they put up Gulf of America. They know that that's going to get a reaction, right? And the whole point is that he is a heel. We're trying to piss you off, right?
Sure.
Right.
So it's one of those things where it's almost like, well, you got to be aware of how most people are feeling about this shit,
right?
Because you know that was not going to go over here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right.
So it's kind of like, all right, what side are you on? Because I'm fairly certain of what side it is, but then you're playing side too here.
I don't know why.
Anybody there? Just me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear. Oh, he froze up.
He froze up.
I'm back.
There you
Okay,
go.
there you go.
I don't know what I last said that was heard.
You had said that they're kind of playing this side, but like, because like that the Gulf of America stuff is really gonna,
Piss people off. So it's almost like it does feel like they're playing both sides here.
I just don't understand what the point of this particularly is. Is it really we're just rage baiting at this point? That's what we're doing.
I don't want to assume. I don't get a both. I get a one side vibe because like this and the Tony Hinchcliffe shit. Like I feel like these two things were like really close together. So
isn't there? Couldn't there be an argument to be made that all heel work is rage baiting?
Sure, but
argument, I agree.
Usually when you got some sort of heel working, there's kind of reasons for it, and I don't really see what the reason was for Jack Gable to go learn the ways of luchador besides to piss people off.
Because he couldn't beat them. That was the whole point, was that he couldn't beat any of them.
That's so shallow to me, in my opinion. I mean, I just like, it's just like,
when you're telling a bad joke, and not only is it a bad joke, but it was a long walk to the joke.
Yeah, it's like you took a walk, you went a wild way to just piss people off.
You took us on a hike. Right. That's how it feels to me. It's just like a long walk to a bad joke.
I think my thing with this is like, so what's the intended payoff here?
Right.
He beats all the luchadors, okay, and then what? Like where is this supposed to be going? You know what I mean? Like I don't really even see, like usually, we don't know where every storyline is going, but we can make an educated guess. Okay, I could see this going here. This is the ending, right? Yeah. I don't. This is the point of this storyline. I don't feel that for this. I don't get what's the ending here. There's there's no luchadors that have titles. So what does this do for Chad Gable in the end?
Again, that's what I'm saying. It's just a very shallow storyline for the sake of just pissing people off, and I don't understand that. I don't know why we're in the business of that when we're the biggest wrestling company, sports entertainment company in the world, when we don't have to do this. I mean, you already have someone like Logan Paul, who his presence alone causes people to feel a way about being a fan of of wrestling. So it's just like you're already kind of doing things in that department, and then you're
that kind of all point to it.
Yeah, and then you just keep doing more and more for the sake of what reason? Like the reason you hang on to Logan Paul, despite how fucking bipolar people feel about him, is because he's good.
Yeah,
he's actually good in the ring. You know what I mean?
And, I think what adds to it is just that, like, it's one thing to just like kind of get a reaction out of people, but there's so many examples and they're so consistent. It's like are all of these to get a reaction out of somebody? Like, is that just is like all of these examples, all of them, strictly just to get reactions because they just feel too consistent, in my opinion, and they all just feel like they're pointing in one direction, in my opinion. And this is how I'm interpreting it, but like, it's just like, why? We're all aware of the subtext. Why are we seeing that much of that subtext?
It's just
on the other hand, there's going to be somebody watching us say this right now going, well, they're getting exactly what they want. You're pissed off, and that's the whole point. And you know what?
Sure.
I guess there's an argument to be made there.
There's an argument to be made there, but like to willfully look at it that black and white and not do a little bit more critical thinking, you know what I mean? And we don't know for sure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we really don't know. You know, we're all speculating, but just we know what type of time like shit with this type of subtext is on. You know what I mean? So it's like, why are you showing this on the wrestling TV show?
Yeah. It's just, like I'd be all for it if it wasn't so shallow, if it wasn't so easy, if it wasn't so cheap.
It almost feels like low hanging fruit. Like I don't want to call it that. It almost feels like
I think it is. I will call it that. I mean, like let's put the white guy in a fucking luchador mask and not call him his name in proper Spanish, and it is low hanging fruit.
Because that example, right? Just that example. Just putting Gable in a luchador mask, like that's not wild. Like, right? That alone. I mean, like with his gimmick attached to it, sure, I guess. But when you add the Gulf of America shit to it, like that adds a whole nother layer to it. That's like, all right, what the fuck is that about?
Yeah, it's just it's just the rage baiting for the sake of rage baiting, and it's really shallow. And if it had some more substance to it, besides what Hambone said, where it's like there is that little bit of story attached to it, I think it wouldn't be as bad. But I just don't understand why.
I don't think it's rage baiting. To me, I don't think it's rage baiting. I think it's very intentional. But like, I don't think it's for like. I don't think rage is the intention.
So, what do you think the intention is?
I just think it's another statement. That's what I think. I'm cool being wrong. I'm cool with being wrong. Like I'm just, I mean, we just talking about how we interpret it.
I'd prefer to be wrong.
I prefer to be wrong, but like I said, there's just too many examples of shit that kind of points into this realm that they've been displaying on TV for like a hot minute now. Yeah. So to me, it's just like this feels like some type of message.
Really feel. Yeah.
That's how it feels. I want to be wrong, but that's how it feels.
I mean, if this is how they really feel about like luchadors, it's really weird because you just signed two of the biggest ones to your company.
Yeah.
And now you're doing this. So it's like
there's gonna be somebody though who's gonna be, but the whole point is at the end Chad Gable's gonna lose and good overcomes evil. So
I don't fuck about none of that.
Yeah.
I don't fuck about none of that.
Yeah.
And I really don't think this is about the luchadors either. I think it's just I really do just think that it's them using the luchadors as like a tool to get a message across. That's what I think.
I will humbly admit that the message is being lost with me, but that is fine.
That's a good thing. Let's move on. We've had enough of this bullshit.
Let's talk about this
message. Okay, so we on like what, week 3, week 4 of this heel turn?
I would say so, yeah. Elimination Chamber was like the 8th of March or something like that.
How y'all feel about it? How y'all feel about it? How y'all feel about this promo?
I feel much the same about this one as I did the other one. It felt repetitive.
Me too.
This one, he kind of was trying to get psychological. I know you better than you know me. And it's just like, John, why are you with The Rock?
Yeah.
Like what? Just
you went to therapy, dog. We know that's great. You went to therapy, and now you're like weaponizing it to talk down on fans. That's cool. Yeah. I get the play. But half of what made the heel turn so crazy, and look at me sound like a bitchin' fan. Half of what made this heel turn so crazy was the fact that you decided to piece it up with Rock.
Yeah.
Why? Right? Like, because my thing is. I sound like a bitchin' fan, dude. But like, if you we got the heel turn.
Yep.
We got the heel turn. I want to lock in on that heel turn, and I want to be invested in that heel turn, and I want to hate his guts. I don't hate his guts, especially when he explains why he did it, why he turned heel. I'm with you when you break it down like that, but like, I want to know why you pieced it up and linked up with Rock, because I think Rock's a dickhead. You know what I mean? The character. I think that The Rock is a fucking dickhead, and he's done a good job in displaying that shit. What made you link up with him?
Yeah.
Why? You know what I mean? Like, we get it, bro. You tired of us. We tired. You got sick of us shitting on you for 20 years. I'm with you. I'm rolling. But what made you say I'm gonna line it up with Rock? Not line it up. I'm a link up with Rock. I want to know that aspect. He hasn't brought up Rock not one time.
So one thing that I think you just kind of said it, Con, without like getting deep into it though, about like Rock being a dickhead. Rock is beloved by the WWE universe, but once he saw that was not going that way, when he came back, he instantly switched, right? And he went like vicious, and he made us dislike him. Yeah. John is not doing that. He's coming off like a hurt ex-lover.
Like he's fed up.
That's how it feels to me.
Yeah. Like a guy who's just fed up and reaches his limit.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this guy.
I'm not mad at that guy.
Kind of like, all right, well, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm not mad at that guy. I empathize with that guy. I don't want to empathize
Yeah.
with heel John Cena.
No.
I'm kind of pitying you
Yeah.
more than hating you, and
Yeah.
that's not really a heel turn.
The only thing that I've seen like be theorized out of this is the fact that, and it probably is just a printing error on the hat, but apparently the C is in front of the no symbol that's on his hat right now. If you can see that in the image there, which means that we can see him now. That's the only thing that's really come out of this promo for me, is that they've kind of changed the merch up a little bit. Other than that, I mean, again, you guys already said it. Like, and I'll double down and expand on that too. It's like we haven't heard anything from The Rock either.
We haven't heard shit.
Yeah.
The Rock hasn't said a fucking word, and also Cody hasn't asked him what
Yeah.
like. So
It's like they're avoiding it.
Everyone, like, there was two people there that we have not heard about since it happened, Travis Scott and The Rock, and we have no idea why those people were there other than just for the sake of them being there. And I'm sure Travis Scott is way less of a question than The Rock is, obviously, but
I don't give a fuck what Travis Scott thinks at a time like this.
Yeah, but it's just like,
shit what he thinks.
I don't care what Travis Scott thinks. I would like to know like what part of if he is any more part of it.
Tell us what put it together.
The Rock is the question. It's
tell us what put it together.
Yeah,
and
we already you don't fuck with us. We got that part. Right. But what made you say, not only do I not fuck with y'all, I'm gonna link up with Rock and I'm gonna link up with Travis Scott for some reason.
Yeah.
And Cody is almost making it worse because, like you said, Nick, he's not coming out and asking about The Rock. He's literally just coming out and being like, "John, you kind of sound like a bitch right now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not.
Yeah. And that's my thing too.
Even Cody doesn't feel like he's mad.
Yeah.
He's just like, you kind of sound like a bitch right now.
Yeah.
And like if you act like Cody, this at Mania, I'm gonna wipe the floor with you.
Like Cody, you got jumped by 3 people, and all you can do is come out after this man's talked for 15 minutes and go, "Yeah, you sound like a whiny bitch," and then try to fight him. And then when John walks away, you just start yelling.
Yeah, like Cody makes me mad because he did the shit with The Rock too, where it's like he's not mad enough at these guys for me. You know what I mean? Where like they blatantly violate him, and he's just like he takes weird approaches. With Rock, he wanted to talk. With Cena, he wanted to talk. And like, okay, if you're gonna talk to Cena, ask him why he's with Rock, bro. I know I sound like a broken record, but like,
I think that is purposeful from WWE because I think that they're trying to keep. They want Cody to be like the quintessential underdog babyface. So they want him to always look like he's fighting from the bottom, not be the vicious ass kicker. You know what I mean?
Expound.
That's just what I think they want him to be. I mean, that's kind of the prototypical babyface is like somebody who's considered an underdog, and they're going to, chase the title from the bad guy forever, and in the end, somehow good always prevails and they win, right? But they're not usually like vicious badasses, Cody is kind of like a throwback to like late 80s, early 90s, like squeaky clean baby faces, I feel like. So I feel like that's purposeful from WWE, where he's not coming out and just being, vicious against The Rock or John Cena, because that's not the kind of babyface they want him to be.
Hold on. I'm
not saying it's the right way. I'm just saying that's what I think they're doing.
Wait, so you're saying you're saying, repeat the point again. I'm trying to make sure I follow you.
To the point of why isn't he coming out and like being more vicious when he's gotten his ass beat and all that stuff? Because that's not the kind of babyface they want him to be. They want him to be the quintessential good guy who fights from the bottom and overcomes all the odds.
Well, here's the thing. He's done a good job being that, right? Like, he's done a good job being that. I want to know why because, like, on a realistic level, right? On a realistic level, when somebody pushes you to a certain point,
sure, yeah,
you become that person, right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
they've done that with him. Rock and Cena on separate occasions have done things like worthy of that, right? So like, yeah, he's been the quintessential like white meat baby face, but I feel like that's the only mode he's been in since he's came back to WWE.
Yeah,
and in a high stakes situation like feuding with The Rock or feuding with Cena at WrestleMania, I would like to see a different side of Cody to treat it more high stakes. You know what I mean? Treat like I feel like not vicious, but more like aggressive, more like fed up, more just like anxious. Just treating it more.
I would like to see.
I would like to see him treat situations like that a little more high stakes than that, because him coming out and just with the suit on and using the big words and not losing his temper, it's like, bro, this is WrestleMania. So like, if there was ever a time for you to kind of like let loose a little bit more, now would be a time to do that. These guys jumped you when you weren't expecting it, beat your ass with your dead dad's watch, and you came out and you just want to talk. Like, I get it, right? I get it, a build up, but like, I wouldn't be that, even if I wasn't like at the next segment I'm doing with Cena after that. And I'm not saying how they should have did it, but what just would have kind of had me more locked in. The next segment after that, if I can't touch Cena, I'm gonna at least make it seem like I want to put my hands on you, because like, boy, was that like a line cross.
Also, too, there's two things there. It's like if you got jumped, right, which happened, you got jumped by 3 people. Right? If I'm catching one of you while you're by yourself, whether I'm a good guy or a bad guy, I would want some revenge.
Yeah.
And I would think that at some point, all that talking shit is out the window. You got jumped, right? At the same point in time. So it's like that aspect of it where it's like, I feel like he should be a little more aggressive, where like, if I catch one of you guys on by yourself,
it's on site.
It's on site, right?
It's on site, yep.
So I want to see that out of Cody. But also, when one person in the story is not really telling the full story or really letting us in on the full story, I would really like the other person in the story to ask the questions that we're all kind of asking. Which is, hey man, we know why you're upset. We get that you're, we understand why you're, what you're doing right now. But why are you friends with these people, though? Why did you do it at Elimination Chamber? Why are you doing it right before WrestleMania? Why are you doing it? Because if Cody was asking all those questions and John was ignoring him, it'd be like, oh, he's keeping this close to the vest.
Yeah, that's a good point, Nick. I hadn't thought about it that way, but yeah, if Cody was at least asking, I would feel like, oh, okay, we're gonna get the answer, just not right now.
But as of right now, it doesn't seem like we're going to even hear about it probably until WrestleMania when Rock walks through the door.
Yeah. It sounds
like here's this partner now all of a sudden. Like, it's just like it doesn't seem like, it just seems like the storyline itself has just completely eradicated the whole sparking point as to what happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's, Iron Man got jumped by Dr. Doom and Thanos at the same time, and Thanos keeps walking out here. It's like, no, Thanos, why are you with Dr. Doom?
Because to add to that, you have to, in order for like a John Cena heel turn to work the way that it did, you got to attach, because if he just turned heel on Cody, I don't think fans would have reacted as negatively as they did, because it's something that they wanted for a while, right? Something that they wanted for a minute. So you got to attach that to something that fans don't want to see.
Sure. And that is kind of a theory that's floating out there, Con, is that they're doing this purposefully because they feel like if Cena is a different type of heel, well, we're going to cheer that because that's what we always wanted in the first place.
Right.
So they're doing it this way intentionally to make us boo him.
To make it, and he's saying and doing all the things that would make you want to boo him. He's like shitting on little kids. He's calling us names and shit like that. He's doing that, right? But like I've been saying this whole episode, attached to that made people like react as strongly as they did was that they put him with The Rock, right? And I can agree with that. Yeah. And like Ham said earlier, in the episode, Rock, came back as a good guy, saw how fans were reacting to him, and he switched it up and became the biggest douche in the company, right? Why is a guy like John Cena, Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, Respect, the guy who's made the most wishes in Make-A-Wish Foundation? Why is that guy linking up with that guy? And I feel like that's a piece of the puzzle that's missing in terms of the story.
No one's addressing.
Again, I'm not saying I'm not saying that what they're doing is wrong, right? I don't want to say that shit because they got a playbook that they're going to obviously follow. But I'm not into this heel turn as much as I want to be because that is not getting answered.
Yeah, I think that's the thing too. Like I feel apathetic towards the storyline.
I feel very apathetic, and
like I don't care either way. I don't hate Cena, and even though I'm a Cody fan, I'm not like, hell yeah, Cody, go beat his ass. Like I don't. They're not making me feel anything for this. I feel nothing.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but how do you feel about this?
I say good for her.
Saraya has departed from AEW.
She hasn't said why. Other than, I guess she said she wanted to get her feet wet, but I don't know. It seems, her run was in AEW was underwhelming. Put it that way.
Yeah,
I feel like she had a good 4 months, and then it was nothing.
Yeah,
to be honest. I mean, she had, she
won the women's championship. She won the women's championship. She won it in her hometown, which was cool little moment for her. But yeah, I think especially because this was essentially like a return to wrestling for her when she came to AEW.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, so underwhelming. I like.
And then you had
but yeah,
you threw her in a group, with Toni Storm, and then Toni Storm just went this way. You know what I mean? Just completely outshined everybody else and then as soon as you took away Saraya, Harley Cameron started outshining her just by being by herself. So it's almost like, okay, well, what are you doing here then? Everybody was happy, obviously, for her to be able to come back, but I don't know. And again, we don't really know. Was that her decision? Was that just Tony Khan's booking? We don't know.
Right. It seemed like it was all after she won the title. It kind of just felt like it was all just kind of weird. Booking
and she lost it so quickly too.
Yeah.
I think she had 2 defenses, maybe
something like that.
Yeah. So apparently she asked for time off in November.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume I don't watch Collision, so I just kind of assumed she was on Collision. I think she was for a while.
She hasn't been on TV in months.
I haven't seen it in a while.
And they had signed her brother, and they let him go
I forgot about that.
month and a half ago.
Sure did. Yeah.
Fuck.
Which was actually pretty surprising because in the few times I saw him, I thought he was really good.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
We just didn't do anything with him.
No, not at all.
Yeah. She has talked about going to WWE if there's something cool for her.
I heard that too. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't mind seeing her in WWE again. I've heard that.
It was funny because at first she was saying that, and I didn't know she had been released or that she had even taken time off. So I thought it was weird. That
she
was
just put that out there.
Yeah, because I was like, why is she saying that? And then because it just seems like a weird thing to say when you're with AEW
working for the competition.
Yeah, so I was like, but then this happened the next day. I was like, she's not even there. I was like, well, that's interesting. But I mean, I would like to see her do just maybe a little something in WWE. If there's something for her, something cool she could do. Yeah. Maybe come back like the way Trish does. Just kind of do something like that, where it's like she just does a little part-time thing every now and then.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I mean, I don't know what. I mean, at this point, these two companies, when you think about one joining the other, or whatever it is, both these companies are so stacked. It's like unless you're really a star, or really there's something missing in the company, I don't know what either company can do for you if you're not being booked correctly.
Yeah.
So it's like if you were kind of booked weird in AEW, unless you're really just somebody crazy, there's not much they can do for you in WWE either. And I understand
she even said that.
Yeah.
When this came out, she was like, I don't even know where I would fit in AEW right now. They have so much talent. I don't even know what they would do with me right now.
Right.
But I would say the same for her in WWE too. I'm
Sure.
not really sure exactly where she would fit either. There's
Where
a
she would
lot
fit in
going
right
on
now.
in, yeah. So it's like I mean, maybe she could go do some managerial / like training somebody in NXT type of thing. I don't know. It'd be something like cool in that aspect, but it's just like I don't know. So it's like that's kind of where I see both companies. It's like whether you're coming from WWE to AEW or the other way around, it's like you really got there really needs to be something being told for you. I think like Penta's like kind of a different example, the opposite of what I'm saying. It's like it looks like they really have something going on for Penta at WWE where they didn't have anything going on in AEW, but he got lucky. I think they had a story for him and they had time for him, and hopefully they do the same with Ray Phoenix. But yeah. So I would like to see her do something else because I do like Saraya.
Yeah.
Saraya Page, whoever it ends up being. Another person who is discussing his future, Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's got 5 more years with him and then he's gone.
I'll be right back, fellas. Excuse me.
You're good. What do we think is next for Swerve in 5 years? Is it music?
Probably. Yeah, I think Swerve is probably making very good money with AEW.
Sure.
It probably feels like, he's made his mark on that company. And I think that he'll spend the next 5 years like cementing that legacy and probably just doesn't feel like he needs to do anything more. He does, he's got a kid, he probably wants to be able to do more stuff with his kid and with music and all that while he's still young, And a lot of but you know what? My thing with that is that a lot of people used to say that, Cody used to say he wanted to be done by 40 and he's going to be 40 in like a year, so he did change his mind. So I guess I could see Swerve doing that as well. But
Swerve is 34. He'll be 39, 40 by the time.
Yeah. And that's basically the same thing that Cody did. He was like 34 and he was like, I want to be done by 40. And now he's going to be 40 and he changed his mind. So a lot of people are trying to say that they think this is just him saying, oh, I'm going to leave in 5 years so I can go to WWE.
That's not what I think it is at all.
I don't think it is either.
I generally don't.
But I also didn't think that about Cody and I was wrong. So what the fuck do I know?
Well, that was also really new in the people going back and forth between the two companies. Like that, we had never seen anyone do that before.
Yeah.
Go from AEW to WWE, even though that was a return technically. So we're like 5 years removed from that aspect of it. So it's like there's a lot of things that have changed since that time. So I do not see this as I'm going to WWE or any other company. I see this as I'm walking away from wrestling in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah. And I definitely think he's going to be AEW World Champion here within the next couple weeks. I mean, that's what it looks like. He might get it a Dynasty here. I would probably say music. If I'm whoever runs his music stuff, I would be putting stuff out now. Like I'd really be pushing the music stuff now. That way he's kind of doing both.
Yeah.
Where it's like we kind of see him build his career like while he's wrestling, and then all of a sudden he comes out and he's like one of the next big things, like in 5 years he's like at the Grammys and like shit like that. I would like to see something like that. Because music takes time to get into.
Yeah.
So,
it does already seem like he's got a shit ton of connections though. So I feel like it's probably going to be a little bit easier of a transition for him than it may have been for, certain.
Oh, he has a huge leg up. I'll never deny that. But I do think like we should be seeing like I would like to see an album within the next year.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And like in a good one. Not just like, oh, he's a rapper and he wrestles. Like, it needs to be really good. That way we can be like, oh, okay, this guy might actually do what he says he's gonna do. That's what I think this tweet means, is that he said it in the music. Connor, anything to say about this?
No, not really. Yeah, I mean, I kind of caught I stepped out for a second, but I kind of picked up what y'all were talking about. And, I mean, y'all pretty much said everything I was thinking.
Okay. Cool. What is next? Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
They also said that, well, go ahead and say what you're going to say, Nick.
So I was just going to introduce it as the Hall of Fame is now introducing immortal moments, is what they're calling them. And they're having the Austin and Bret Hart match from WrestleMania 13 as one of their moments. So they'll both be in attendance for the Hall of Fame, and I guess accepting that, like, a plaque or whatever it is that you get for being in the Hall of Fame as a moment, which usually is people in the Hall of Fame. Right. So I find that really interesting. I've never seen a Hall of Fame do anything like that. They don't usually. I mean, Hall of Fame museums will have like the Pro Football Hall of Fame has like jerseys and footballs and stuff like that. It's not just people in the Hall of Fame museum, but for them to induct an actual moment into the Hall of Fame ceremony, pretty cool. I think is really interesting. And of course, this is something that's very legendary, iconic. So I do like seeing this. This is very different, and I kind of hope other Hall of Fames do stuff like this, because it'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea to, and because I know they're calling it immortal moment, so it's like, is it going to be a moment, or are you just saying, all right, this match was so influential, you know what I mean? But this is also going to make Bret Hart the first and only 3-time Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, that's cool. That's really dope. Yeah,
Have you seen this match, Nick?
Pretty crazy.
This isn't the one that Tyson was the ref, was it?
No, that was the next.
That was him. Yeah,
that was the next year. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I've not
you
seen.
You should
this
check
one.
out this one if you haven't seen it, Nick. This is a very good match with an awesome ending. That, like, I would say that this match is what really cemented Stone Cold.
I'd say so too.
Yeah.
I'd say so too. It was a double turn, right? We saw a double turn in that match.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's pretty rare.
Oh, shit.
Basically, in this match, because of what happened, Bret went from being a face to a heel, and Austin went from being a heel to a face
at the same time
match because of how this match happened.
You don't see those often. You don't see a double turn.
I don't think I've ever seen it in my fandom.
Yeah.
I saw it when Dolph Ziggler cashed in on Alberto Del Rio. Yeah.
And this match has one of the most iconic images ever in professional wrestling in it.
Sure do.
I definitely would recommend going back and watching at least, if not the entire show, but at least this match next.
I'd recommend it too. It's a pretty good fucking match.
I'm assuming it's on Peacock, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can find it on Peacock.
Cool shit.
Yeah.
I do. That is a question I do have, Hambone. Is it the entire match is the moment, or is a particular moment the moment? Is
there? It's definitely a particular moment, but the match does lead to that moment.
There's no filler in this match.
Yeah, you don't have that moment without the rest of the match.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Let me clarify. Are they putting that particular moment in the Hall of Fame, or are they putting this entire match in the Hall of Fame? That's something
what
I
I'm
would like
saying.
to know.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I want to double down on what you were saying. That would be interesting to know.
I mean, I think either way, however they do it, it deserves to be there, whether it's just the moment or the entire match.
Because with that moment, you need the whole story in general for context, and the whole story in general is a moment in itself.
Okay. Cool shit. Yeah, no, this is really cool, and me personally, I want to know, how will they do more of these in this Hall of Fame, or will they do just one each in Hall of Fame? You know what I'm saying?
I hope so, because there are so many examples
many.
of stuff like this that have been like turning points in wrestling, or things that have made an impression on us as fans for, you know, the rest of our lives. I think they could keep this going for a very long time if they continued to do it.
Yeah.
And I'd rather see something like this than their Warrior Award or what all that shit that they were doing before. I'd rather see something like this.
Me too.
Yeah, like in my fandom, I easily think like the entire Bloodline story is an immortal moment. You know, I think
Mankind, and Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels throwing Marty Jannetty through the barbershop, shit like that.
Yep.
There's a bunch. There's a ton. So I would love to see a lot more of these. And to see how many they do a year. Like, are they going to just do one a year? They're going to do like a couple a year? Because you could really knock some out.
Yeah.
I thought this was really interesting.
Yeah. Cool idea.
Yeah. Oh boy.
This was my favorite part of SmackDown, was this vignette.
Best promo she's ever cut.
She is doing the best character work of her career. No doubt about it, period.
Smoked it. Wow. Totally smoked it.
I was definitely I was a little shocked because I did not see this live. And then when y'all said like, oh, this is really something, I was like, oh, okay. So I went back.
She bodied this, man. She bodied this.
Lordy.
It's kind of hard to hear Naomi on the mic. She's not a bad talker, but she just, I mean, just I like a little realism with my promo cutting. She don't really give me that. And
let me ask you something, Con. To that point, do you think that that's the issue, or do you think that, you know, look back at Naomi's career, right? Has she really ever been given something like this? You know what I mean? She's always been just kind of a plain baby face,
white meat baby face.
Yeah, they've never really given her any
range,
serious character work. Yeah, or range, nothing to like really get into.
She was a dancer, which we enjoy it. Enjoy it, but like that's the only side of her we've seen. But yeah, just I like Naomi just because, you know, we've seen what she can do. Just from a wrestling standpoint, I think she's one of the best wrestlers on the roster. But what disconnects me from Naomi is just, you know, when she starts just talking, I just disconnects. You know what I mean? But this was the most serious she sounded. This is the most real she sounded. And it just, I always say that if it sounds like you're reading from a script, you kind of already take me out of it. This one didn't sound like she was reading from a script.
And just, I mean, her sitting there crying too gave it some.
Oh, the tear definitely added to it.
Yeah,
the tear added to it.
Yeah, I loved everything about this. I think she's doing the best work of her career right now, and I want to see more of it.
Me too.
And I want to hear nothing about that first shit with her Bianca, because that shit was fire too.
She bodied.
Y'all think she's gonna fuck up the WrestleMania match with her and
Io? For sure. I think she's definitely gonna pop up and get involved.
Yeah, I think Io's gonna retain for that reason, to be honest.
I think Io's retaining too, and I think that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I think Io's gonna have a huge leg up. I'll say this: I think Naomi's going to level the playing field between Io and Rhea. But Io's still going to come out on top cleanly, even though Bianca was taken out not cleanly by Naomi.
I think so too.
That's my prediction for WrestleMania right now. It's that it's going to even the playing field, but Io's going to get the clean win over Rhea.
Yeah. How we feel about this?
I thought that this was an interesting turn.
Yeah.
I kind of like Bobby saying, I don't like this motherfucker, and I don't want him here because I don't trust him.
Means he's been paying attention. Paying attention.
I watched this clip too, and I was immediately thrown off when MJF was like, "Yeah, I want to hurt people, so let's do it." And I was like, "Oh, he really wants to be a part of this." I immediately was just like, "He's going to tell, you know, MVP no, like go fuck yourself, right?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "All right," and then they come out and they're like, "No." And I did not expect everything they did. I did not expect. I thought like maybe it was like a MVP don't make the rules around here. You gotta talk to all of us about it. And that's kind of what I was going to, but then it was more of a like, it wasn't an open door. It was like a no, give me that card. I'm ripping it up. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, this is different. Like they don't want no parts of him at all. They're not even open to it. Yeah. Like that's what it seemed to me. It didn't seem like they're open to it at all. Which interesting.
Yeah.
Which why would they be?
Yeah, I like that the most about this because if they had accepted him, then I would have been like, Hurt Syndicate's a bunch of fucking idiots because they clearly have not been keeping track of this dude's career. Yeah, you know what I mean? So them just being like, absolutely not. I did like that.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. He's definitely, I mean, he's easily turned on everybody he's ever been in contact with. And so it's just like, you know.
Probably the most untrustworthy guy on the roster.
In wrestling.
In wrestling.
In wrestling, yeah. In wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so they're good
Which
on
brings
Bobby
me back
and,
to
you know.
Adam Cole did nothing wrong. Adam Cole did the right thing. So
nah, they still need to run that back in my opinion.
Yeah. And plus, I still think that Cole turning on him was the wrong call, just based on the storyline. I just think that they could have gotten more gas out of Max turning on Cole, and to me, it would have been a little more consistent in the story. But I mean, we got what we got.
I just think Adams.
Whoa. Hold on though. Why is what Cole did any different than this though? He said no. I don't trust him. I didn't trust him, and I made the move before he did. That's kind of what Bobby's doing here. He's like, I don't trust him. I'm not saying. Have you seen this guy?
I'm not saying it was wrong. I never said it was wrong. I'm saying that and I've said this since the beginning. The only point I was making was that it would have made more sense for Max to do it because Max just out of the blue was calling himself the devil. Why? And wouldn't that be something that the devil would do, was to manipulate somebody and then get the most out of them? It made more sense just off that for me. So for the devil to get played, that totally took me out of it, personally. But no, Cole's not wrong for it. I never said Cole was wrong for it. Like, he was smart to do that, just based off of the fact that just out of nowhere, Max started saying he was the devil. I wanted to see, okay, well, why you call yourself the devil? And I didn't get that.
I think it fell flat too. I mean,
because they both got injured too.
Well, yeah, I mean, there were so many things that screwed that storyline over.
Yeah, they both got hurt too.
Yeah,
so it was, it just, I think it was a really good. It was one of the like really good build-ups that like.
Yeah, AEW, the build-up. I did like the build-up. I did enjoy the
AEW build-up. Kind of struggles with build-up sometimes, so it's like, and then then you get like a good payoff or whatever it is, but it's like, they had a good build-up and then the payoff was, like
what we got. It was what we got.
Yeah. So, I mean.
But I am interested in this. I want to see where this goes because it just was not on my radar. The idea of MJF wanting to be a part of the Hurt Syndicate. But
I think the one thing that I don't want to see come out of this is I don't want to see Max go and form another group to go against them. I'm done. Like we've been saying, like Max is turned on everybody. So I don't want to see him form another group.
Yeah, no,
Are you all dumb too? Like, have you not seen this guy?
Yeah, no, I need a little more common sense out of this story because he's done this multiple times.
Yeah.
Listen, bro, he tried to do the firm thing, and I even was down for the firm when they started to do it. But then that fell flat too.
Yeah, so. I don't want to see him dupe another group. You know what I mean? They've told that story a bunch of times. I don't want to see it again.
No, I'm good. I caught half of this. So what happened here?
So I mean, this is the match that people have been asking for a long time, a very long time. Everybody's like, when are we getting Athena on AEW instead of Ring of Honor? And we all want to see her against Mercedes. Mm-hmm. So they ended up doing a little thing. I mean, you probably saw it a couple weeks ago where Mercedes did a thing with Billy Starks.
Yep.
And Billy Starks is Athena's minion.
Protege. Or minion specifically. She was very clear on that.
Yeah. So they've been teasing this a little bit, and then Athena finally was like, maybe I'll come see you tonight, and then she just came out, and after Mercedes had a match with Billy and beat her.
And beat her.
Mercedes came out, and now we're really hinting at this is going to happen.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm interested. Honestly,
yeah.
Athena
So am
has
I.
a couple
If
belts.
if there's anybody to put over Mercedes and take that, it's Athena.
it's definitely
She's
her.
been
She's
Ring
held
of
it for
Honor
like
Women's
what,
champion for going on like 3 years now.
884 days
Yeah.
or some shit. Some crazy number.
Yeah. So
I'm
is
interested.
More
I'm
than
interested.
believable to be the one to come out and beat Mercedes.
Because honestly, like, I mean, it's no secret. Me and him have both been very vocal about how we're just not Mercedes Moné fans.
No,
I do not feel that. I'm not saying I'm a fan per se, but like as strongly as I felt about her in the past, I don't feel that way now. Like I really don't. So yeah, like I'll even watch a match. I'll even watch her matches now. You know what I mean? So like, shit, I'm interested.
Okay.
I'm interested just to see Athena beat her because I am an Athena fan,
And it's
I
a lot
think
of
that
fucking belts involved. It's a lot.
There is a lot of belts involved, especially because Athena's carrying around 2 and they're the same title, but one of them is the spinner belt with her face on it.
Yeah,
and the other one's the regular belt.
I'm a fan.
There's a lot
of
of belts.
I'm a fan of winner take all scenarios in wrestling. Like I'm a fan of that. So I'm definitely locked in.
I will say when I was first watching wrestling in 2019, Ember Moon was nobody. Ember Moon was not a fucking thing in WWE, and Mercedes, Sasha Banks was huge. Huge. So to see Athena now being, in my opinion, on kind of the Mercedes Moné level in Ring of Honor,
damn near equals.
Would
you? I would actually say equals. I would actually say equals at this point.
That story alone for me as a fan who has not paid attention to Athena at all is pretty cool to see. So just
can I tell y'all one thing that rubs me the wrong way about Athena? Has nothing to do with this.
Sure.
But
I don't know if you guys know this. I've brought this up to a couple people who like were not aware of this, but she's married to a white guy.
Sure. I follow her.
He's an indie wrestler. And his gimmick is that he's the king of the black women. He even sells shirts that say "King of the Black Women."
Really?
Matt Palmer on them. Yep. And I don't like that shit.
I wasn't him.
I don't like that shit. That grosses me out.
Yeah, that's nasty. I don't like it.
His name is Matt. I'm pretty sure it's Matt Palmer. But you can just type in Athena Palmer husband. It'll come up, and then there's pictures of him out there wearing his shirt. King of the Black Women.
That's nasty. I don't like that.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Man, I don't like that. Yeah, I look at it a little weird now, but it's wrestling. We can keep it wrestling.
Find it now.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find it, man.
That's gross.
King of the. This is weird. Just to type.
It's not, yeah,
right. That's That's now that's in your search engine.
Hold on, I found it. Share screen.
If it's on his Instagram, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, I found it. Like
this is just on.
Yep, there it is. King of Black Women.
That's fucking weird.
That's gross.
Yep.
Let's show me.
Don't like that. Don't like that.
Yeah. No.
And it just it so weirds me out that a black woman is okay with it.
Yeah.
Where does he wrestle at?
In the indies. Just the indies.
Yeah, he's just an indie wrestler, so I don't know what companies or anything, but
I mean, my ass hit trying like that.
Yeah.
Had to scratch my ass to that one.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Anyway,
move on from that, but yeah, I feel like I always need to bring that up when there's discussion.
Yeah, I was not aware. That's nasty work. Was not hip.
That's bad heel work right there.
It's just the rage bait shit again.
All right, so there's two things that are going to happen, right? Either they're going to win, which is what I would prefer because I'm sick of the Death Riders, or FTR are going to turn on them, right, and go on a crazy heel run, right?
Yeah.
So what do we think happens? I'd prefer to see them win because I think there's still gas there in this group, and then maybe have them turn on Cope down the road when they lose them or something.
So hold on, can we slow down? How did this riff between them kind of start? Because I have missed that.
Cope, he says he came back to help FTR against the Death Riders because they, had attacked them and all that stuff. Then he gets 2 matches with Mox for the world title. He loses both of them.
Yep.
And the second one, Dax came out, and then they did the 6-man match, which they lost.
Yeah.
And then Dax walked out on him.
Yeah.
And in this, he was like, you had 2 chances to beat him, and you didn't beat him.
And you didn't beat him.
And so he's like, I just feel like we took our eyes off the ball of being tag team champions to help you become world champion, and then you couldn't even do it.
Which I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm kind of fucking with that premise. I kind of like that premise.
And then on Collision, Dax has because you guys don't watch Collision, right?
No.
So then on Collision, Dax, they have this sit down on Dynamite, and they go, okay, Dax apologizes, but he's still taking his little shots, during it, but he apologizes. They agree to go after the trios titles. Then on Collision, Dax has a match with Wheeler Yuta, and Wheeler Yuta beats him. And then afterwards, Dax starts arguing with the ref, saying it was 2, and there was no question that it was not 2. So he starts attacking the ref.
Yeah, he attacked the ref.
And as he does, security comes out and holds him back. They restrain him. And then Cash comes out, pulls all the security off of him, and Dax turns around and pushes him to the ground. And Cash just looks at him. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Cash just looks at him because Cash is trying to keep the peace between them two because, they're his 2 best friends. Cash, if you don't know, Cash does have a legitimate long history with Cope.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Yeah. I'm just saying for anybody watching, if you don't know, they have a legitimate history. So they are his 2 best friends. So Dax pushes him down because Dax had walked out on their trios match afterwards, and Cash was like, what the hell? He's sitting there trying to help Cope get up, and Dax just walks out. So now Dax pushes him, and he just looks at him, and he gets up, and he pushes Dax, and then he walks out, and he goes, fuck you, I'm not doing this. So now that's where we're at with it. Yeah. And they're supposed to have a trios titles match.
All this dissension.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Are you guys interested in watching Dynasty this go around? I know we kind of all did not watch the last one.
I am.
I mean, I watched it. I just didn't watch it live.
Well,
or pay my money for it.
I might pay. I think I might pay for Dynasty.
Okay.
Is it on a Saturday or Sunday? That's going to make my decision for me.
Oh, yeah, good question.
It's on Sunday.
Then I'm probably not going to.
Is it this Sunday coming up?
Next Sunday,
yeah.
Oh, well then, no.
The Sunday, the next time we're on, we'll do the podcast, and then it's going to come on right after.
I'm off work that Monday, so yeah, I'll probably buy it.
Oh, true. I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I'll purchase it.
I mean, I'm going to watch it. Whether I watch it live or not is a different story.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I want to give what I think is going to happen. You guys tell me.
You go ahead.
So we have this segment. Paul says, hey, the clause is in there. You're a WrestleMania main eventer, right? And we're all like, okay, there's the favor. And then Punk says at the end, that's not the favor. Right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm thinking, night 1, the triple threat main events, and Punk wins it. Night 2 comes, main event comes out, Cena, Cody, they're about to start the match, the bell rings, and then we hear, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And Paul comes out to reveal that the clause was actually that if Punk won on night 1, he got inserted into the match at night 2.
That would be fucking crazy.
And we get a triple threat.
That would be crazy. Wow. That would be crazy.
Can you imagine Cena and Cody are about to go at it, and then Paul Heyman comes out, and the entire place is going to put 2 and 2 together. The roof will fucking pop off the place.
Oh, man. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I don't got one that good. I said what mine was, but it's not that good.
See, my only thing is that I feel like if Rock is really John Cena's buddy, I feel like he would block something like that. Being
so here's
TKO board of director, right?
Here's what I'm thinking, right? If they actually do that,
Right.
There's so many things that you can do in that match.
Because there's no DQ.
Well, not only, I don't even mean that. I mean like for who wins and what happens after. You could have Punk win, right? I mean, how old is Punk now? He's like 47. How many more years are we
Like
getting?
45, 46 or something like that.
If we're giving him a title, it better be soon, right?
Yeah.
So you give him the title, and then afterwards we could get, him and Cody 1-on-1, or we could get him and Cena 1-on-1. You're telling me that this is Cena's last year, and we're not going to get Cena and
versus
Punk 1-on-1 again?
Yeah.
No, come on, that's got to happen somewhere, right? Or you could have Rock come out. He could help Cena win. He could, that way Cena wins, gets, his 17th title. Neither Punk or Cody lose. You could do Rock versus Punk or Cody at SummerSlam. It could lead to that.
Sure could.
Right?
That's true. Yeah.
You could really get this heel turn out of Cena. We could get some more legs off of that, right? Or you could have Cody win again. And then after Cody wins, and we could get Cody and Rock at SummerSlam, like I said. We could get Cody and Punk 1-on-1. We could get Cody and Orton, which you're telling me we're not going to do Cody and Orton 1-on-1 with their past, with the title on the line?
They already kind of been playing with that a little bit already.
That kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, they already teasing us with that.
I really feel like if you put Punk in this, there's so many ways to go. Anybody could win, and there's a ton of interesting shit to do afterwards, no matter who you go with.
Big facts.
I'll be honest, if we get a triple threat with Punk for night 2, I got like a 3% chance that Cody actually walks away with that thing. So if he does walk away with that thing, that's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be crazy. Because in my mind, it's like a 10% chance Cody does it right now, the way it's booked right now.
Sure.
It's like Cody does retain against Cena. Like I have every intention of thinking that Cena's gonna walk away at WrestleMania with this title, right? You add Punk into the mix. Now it's like a coin flip between those two, and then Cody just happens to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't know. So that's definitely intriguing to me. What you eating, Con?
It's this rice that Sheila made with mango sticky rice, and that's pretty fucking good.
Mango.
It's pretty damn good.
I made jasmine rice earlier with a coconut green curry sauce with chicken. And I also made some pork gyoza with it and some tempura vegetables. So,
you're a daredevil, bro. You're a daredevil. That's what you are.
Well, I don't fucks around in the kitchen. Sheila knows.
Clearly.
I am not sure what's for dinner tonight. It was either supposed to be turkey burgers or some sort of Italian sausage. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure today, but I'll let you guys know when I know.
Anyway, what are you two thinking about this? That was my whole thing, but what do you guys think about this segment?
I enjoyed it. I had thought that before this, I remember saying that the favorite of Punk was that Paul was going to help him win the triple threat match. So when Paul didn't outwardly say it, but the way the segment was leading, it did give me, the impression for a second that the main event spot on night 1 was the favor, and then Punk cleared that up at the end by saying that wasn't the favor. So I don't know what it is. I really don't, but I really do like Hamlin's theory.
I like Hamlin theories a lot. This promo led me to believe there's no doubt in my mind that Paul is leaving Roman.
Or helping Punk.
Well, I
both.
think both. Yeah, I think both for
or
sure.
Helping Seth. Who said that?
No one's helping Seth. Not anymore. I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe that anymore.
Not after what.
No, I would love to fuck with Khan on that. But it's just I don't. It's again. It's like a 3% chance that he's helping Seth. After all this, he's actually on Seth's side. Nah, I don't buy it. But I will say I do think he's definitely leaving Roman. I think Roman's future without Paul is very interesting.
Yeah.
You gotta think too. If you're Roman, right?
Yeah.
If you're Roman, you even take out my theory, right? Say my theory's wrong, and we're just talking. There's this triple threat match.
Yeah.
You know, say you're Roman, your wise man's sitting here like kissing your opponent, like it's his fucking best friend or something.
Well, what the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
I'd be a little angry.
I mean, what the fuck is that about?
Yeah. No,
I get that y'all go back, but what the fuck was that? Y'all did that like on TV. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Multiple times now.
Right. What is that? Y'all clearly talk.
Right,
y'all
Paul.
clearly talk. Two people who haven't seen each other in a while and haven't talked to each other since. Don't do that shit.
No.
You motherfuckers talk.
Yeah.
And Punk, you at work. And Punk, you at work more than me. So what the fuck y'all be talking about?
Right.
If I'm Roman and Paul was just all business about this, like, all right, I owed him a favor, so I put a clause in. You guys are going on last. That's it. All right. If I'm Roman and I hear that, I go, okay, he's being business-like about it. There's nothing personal about it. But this right here?
You helped him up. You fucking kissed him on the forehead. Like, bro, y'all talk.
Yeah. I don't know, Paul. I don't know.
This feels a little more personal.
Yeah.
Well, with Paul Heyman putting that clause in the contract of them going first or last on night one, and we know for sure that Cody and Cena are going last on night two, it leaves us to wonder why the Royal Rumble is even what it is. Because WWE is again not following their own rules and not giving us the Royal
hold
Rumble
on
winners.
now.
Yeah.
Hold on now.
Not so fast, Buckaroo. Not so fast.
Stop me. Go ahead.
They don't ever say that the Rumble winner gets the main event. They say the Royal Rumble winner gets a guaranteed title shot at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was always the main event of WrestleMania.
No, I mean it was back in the day, because back in the day, the world title match there was only one,
right?
And it was always the main storyline and main focus. But I would say the past 10 years or so, I mean that's just not really the case with them anymore.
Not necessarily. Plus,
so they always make it a point to say a guaranteed title shot.
Plus, I mean, in this case right here specifically, I mean, do I need to say it? These two stories, and it's no knock to them, bro, but these two stories compared to the two matches we just talked about, like they're just not in terms of importance. They're just not touching that.
Yeah, Jay is the most over guy in the company right now, but he does not overshadow the star power of
CM
Punk, Rollins, and Roman combined
on night one, and then competing with Cody and Cena night two. It's just like, come on now, it's basic math right there.
And also, like the story that they're telling with Jey Uso is not as interesting.
It's not that compelling, man. It's not his fault. It's not his fault, but it's just not that compelling.
No,
it's their fault, especially because of the way that they're presenting Gunther as champion. He is an afterthought champion, and because of that, it's like, what am I investing?
The most interesting part of that story is Jimmy slapping the shit out of Gunther.
He did not fucking hold back on that.
Yeah, bro.
I forgot to get that picture.
Big Jim.
I try to find the best still shot of him like taking the slap. Yeah. I struggled.
First of all, the women almost never get the main event shot, so it's like that doesn't even. I don't think I've ever seen the women main event either night of WrestleMania.
They did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Becky
Charlotte, and Ronda. Was it Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda, or Becky and Charlotte?
Yep. Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey.
That year, yeah. And I like that feud. That feud was crazy.
What year was that?
That might have been like 2020, 2019, maybe.
Somewhere in there.
Something like
that. And that was the last match of the night?
Yep. Final match of the night. Closed out the show.
Yeah, they cooked, bro. That feud was fire.
Yeah, I mean, Becky was over as fuck right there.
That was the year that
she was the most popular person in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Charlotte was top of the fucking food chain. So, and then I think Ronda was that Ronda's first year there too, or no?
I don't know if it was her first one. It was WrestleMania 35,
something like that. But she was hot when Ronda was in that feud. She was hot. She was white hot. So, yeah.
I don't think I was watching wrestling when that was going on. So.
Might not. That might have been like the year before you locked in.
Yeah, probably was because it was 6 years ago. So
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, a lot of people are upset on the internet about this being the case.
I'm not upset considering the circumstances. This don't upset me.
I mean, if it was getting overshadowed by something that wasn't,
yeah, like if this was clearly the better story, then like but I don't feel that way.
Yeah. Like I feel like Charlotte and Tiff are gonna go on like random as hell. Like this, like,
I do
you know
too.
what I mean? Like
I think
just random as fuck.
I think night one we're gonna get Gunter and Jay opening to get the crowd on their feet.
For sure.
Then we get the triple threat as the triple threat is the main event, and then night two I think we're gonna get the Raw Women's triple threat as the opening, and then Cody Cena at the end. That's what I think. And then Charlotte and Tiffy is going to be somewhere
in the middle.
Somewhere sprinkled in the middle.
Probably night one if you're going to put the other women's title on night two. So
yeah, man. I don't necessarily feel the way about this at all. Again, like as long as the best story is going last.
Yeah.
You
know, or like the best match perceived would be the story going last, because like not to compare, I'm not comparing the two when I say this, but like most of the time when AEW books their pay-per-views, it's like the bloodiest match is going to go last, or the craziest match is going to go last, right? Or like the Anarchy in the Arena thing is the last thing that goes on, right? Because they're going to destroy that fucking arena, right?
Sure.
So that makes the most sense as to why that's the quote unquote main event, because they're going to destroy that place, right? Stuff like that makes sense to me as to like why that is quote unquote the last match of the night. So with this year, with what WrestleMania has going on, the two matches we're going to get and to end the show are the best stories going on with the most star power and what everyone's intrigued by. So
makes sense.
When it doesn't end up that way, I'll be right there with y'all with the picket fences and and all that shit, like the picket signs and everything like that. But until that happens, I'm not gonna go.
I ain't tripping off it.
Yeah, and knowing again, like you said, it's got to be whatever the best storyline is that's going to get the biggest reaction, because knowing now where we ended up with Cody and Cena, like Cena did not need to win the Rumble to get here. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
We still got we still got here without him having to win the Rumble. So if that's the case, then why are we wasting the Rumble on him? Give it to somebody like Jay, who needs something like that to get him into that main event picture.
Exactly.
That's what I feel the Rumble should be, man. The Rumble and Money in the Bank. It should be used to get people, to the top, because they're always, if you're already at the top, like a Cena or a Cody or something like that,
you don't need that.
You can always be inserted in some way into the main event picture.
Right.
Yeah. No, for sure. I do agree with that. I believe that is it for headlines, boys. There's a lot of stuff happened in the world of wrestling.
Yeah.
How do we feel about going over some looks? Do we want to skip on that, or we want to look at it?
No, we can do it.
We can do it.
Let's look at a couple. Let's take a look at a couple.
Let's look at a little bit. I don't really know. I don't remember the order, so we're just gonna kind of speed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, go to whatever. We can just discuss. So these are looks from March Mad Drip of last year that did not even get drafted. But we're on our list of possibilities.
For clarity, I did not edit the slides at all, so these are just all of them. But we will skip over the ones that we did pick, because you guys have seen those for the last couple weeks. So, but this was one Becky Lynch back in February of last year on Monday Night Raw.
I just thought it was a cool look. I don't know about you guys. What do you think?
I just didn't like the hat.
She was rocking. She was real into that backward leather hat for a while.
Yeah, I just don't like the hat. But other than that, the fit is fire.
I don't like leather hats. You know what I mean? There's something just like
too hot.
Yeah, like I'm already sweating. You know,
that's ungwear. That's ungwear.
Yeah. I don't need it to stick to me too. Especially as a bald man. Like, nah, bro.
My uncle, who still drinks and like still gambles and shit like that. Like one of my uncles in Louisiana or some shit like that. Like they would wear that.
Yeah. Also, when I didn't like when does Cora Jade still wear the backwards hat?
Yeah, but it don't look as bad when she do it.
I hate it when she used to wear.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Period. Like the backwards
like
snapback. I just
that's
I cringe. I cringe. But like yeah.
I mean, I wear a backward snap. You mean just women?
You're ham bone.
Oh,
you can pull it off.
I don't like snapback. I don't like backward snapbacks in general. Bro.
So you know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that, Con? My wife tells me all the time that me and a backwards hat is like a huge turn on for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I got this one fitted. I mean, y'all seen it plenty of times. The green Florida Mariners fitted. She hates that fucking hat. She hates fitteds. Can't stand it. So I think to this day she don't like it. I think she tolerates it, but like she's made it very clear when I put that hat on. Like sometimes when we go out, she will ask me like, "Can you not wear that hat?" She does not like it.
I have learned
my dad hat. She fucks with the dad hat, but like a fitted, she's not rocking.
Yeah,
I have learned that my head shape fits better in a trucker hat than like a dad hat or a like I liked fitted for about 3 years, and then my head shape is a weird shape, so it's like 7 5/8 or some bullshit. So trying to find fitteds was bullshit. So I always went to snapbacks, and then even snapbacks are kind of weird.
Yeah,
but trucker hats seem to fit my head the best.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this conversation took a turn. It's an interesting turn,
and that's okay.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember this one. Didn't like this fit.
No,
not for me. Honestly, I think the black boots. I think the black boots kind of throw off the whole fit for me. If they were white boots, if they were white boots, I would have rolled.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't. She looks like when people hang things from the door. I like what I got right here.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
She looks just like this thing.
Just like that.
If she had put lights on it like that, it would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
If it was lights, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, she would have taken it to another level with the lights.
Or something,
that would have been crazy.
She would have taken it to a whole new atmosphere with the lights.
Yeah.
Deanna, TK, if you're listening, I'm sure you are. Go tell Deanna. Put some lights in this.
Notes.
She'll be back on the list next year.
Cold. Very cold. I like it. But
you almost drafted this one, didn't you, Con?
Me?
I
tried to, but I drafted one before.
Yeah, you had already drafted Swerve, so
the green is what's getting me.
Yeah, I do like the jacket. I'm not a big fan of the pants, but the jacket is tough for me.
For me, it's the Hangman with that's a buckshot, not a kill shot on it. Man, that's some cold shit right there.
You bodied that.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, I drafted that one. Fuck that. This is Will in the classic green.
Like that,
never a bad look,
make it a little bit different,
But just wasn't as good as the red one.
Was not. I don't think if somebody had drafted that one, I don't think Will Ospreay won it.
No.
That versus Rhea, I think he would have lost.
No, for sure. Yeah,
no. I like this better than the red fit, but again, I love green. That's all it is.
I like green on Will. Will in green is a combination. Yeah, that's his color. But the fact that he was wearing that red, man, again, was like why I loved it so much. This is just kind of plain to me, to be honest.
So what I liked about this one was that it was the invert of his final WWE match that we had.
Yeah. I got that.
His final WWE match were the exact same ones, but they were white.
Yep.
Okay. So he switched it up for this.
Yeah. I do like the jacket. The jacket is nice.
Yeah.
But it's a plain jacket.
He's broken out any jackets lately.
No, yes. I mean, he's also been doing the rated FTR thing too.
Yeah,
so
true.
It's kind of not really been. He hasn't really been doing the cope thing as of late.
Cope ain't been coping lately.
I did like this, but I didn't like it as much as the Uno fit, which is why I didn't.
Well, yeah, but you're biased on that one.
I am biased. I'm an Uno collector.
Con, you know what this made me think of?
What's up?
Thurman, Sparky Plug Holly.
Hardcore Holly's old gimmick?
Yeah. Remember when he was a race car driver?
Man.
There's that checkers that's making me think of it. It felt
Yep.
very, very Hot Wheels.
I totally
Very
see
Hot
that.
Wheels.
Very Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Very, very crazy taxi.
Mhm. Well said.
God. We drafted that one.
We did. Yep.
Did
Drafted
we
Didn't
draft
like
this
that
one?
one. I remember us not liking that fit.
Drafted that one.
I wasn't big in that one. We drafted that one. I almost drafted this one,
Mm.
but I like the other Zelina better.
Mm.
Zelina's always looks good in with her opening stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We drafted this one.
We talked about that one too.
We drafted this one.
We didn't draft that one
We
because
did
I
not
chose
draft that
Cody.
one.
I chose Cody in the short jacket, remember? So we didn't.
Oh, that's right. We didn't talk about this one. You're
You
right.
wanted this one because you like this one.
I
more.
did want this one because of that mask. I love that mask. Yeah, no. The mask is always cool.
Mm.
I
And
like that he's
and
got
then
like the eagles like on his shoulders, but then they're like
Yeah.
actual like molded on, you know?
Yeah.
yeah. And it's more gold scales, I guess if you want to call it. It's more of that on the waist and chest there,
Yeah.
which is he doesn't do that much gold normally, so it's kind of cool. That was just Mania, right? Yeah, that's when he won, right?
Mm.
Okay.
I was there.
We did not do this one because we picked a
We did
different Seth.
There's a lot going on with this one.
There's a lot.
I'm gonna be
going
honest
on.
with you.
This is like super like Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Ish.
The feathers are a lot. Now I'm looking back at it and I'm like, I don't know if I'd put this on here again.
I would.
Yeah.
It's very like Pixar bird character. There's something about it's coming off to me.
Very up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck that movie.
You didn't like Up?
It made me sad, Nick.
Oh,
Okay.
that's why you didn't like it. Did you like it though?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I was like, Up was a
I
great
saw Up
movie.
and did it.
You know, I was like, get shit on Up. Did Bailey make it at all in our?
I don't remember.
I don't
No.
remember Bailey being at all.
I want to say this is the only Bailey look I had on the. Oh no,
You might be right.
no, there was one more because I put her on for her look from Crown Jewel too, but she did not get
Okay.
drafted. So
Okay, this one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not nothing crazy to be honest, but it's cool.
yeah, Bailey is apparently like pretty obsessed with like Egyptian mythology and stuff in real life, and that's why
Really?
she did all this stuff. So
Okay. Let's talk a little.
So she's a history nerd.
We did not draft this.
The
No.
pride.
Man, you
I thought
remember
it was
Pride?
a cool look for
Oh,
all
I
four
forgot
of
about
them
that.
together.
Yeah.
You know,
Forgot about that.
Pride should have been cooler.
Yeah.
should have been.
Should have been.
Pride should have had more
Pride.
to it. Yeah, more pride for
Mm.
sure.
Mm.
Yeah,
He's a wordsmith, that guy.
he
That
does
guy
things
down
with words.
I thought this mask was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
The mask is weird.
I like
But-
the mask. I like the mask.
It's a little too.
Masky.
It's a little too like I
That
really
mask
want a
is
mask.
masking, guys. The mask is masking.
I like it.
It's a little too much like I want a mask, and I want a crazy mask.
It felt very like Hellraiser to me, so I was into it.
Yeah, I like it.
I see that. We drafted this. Still one of the best ones in my opinion. That's one of my top 4.
Mm.
See, Lyra had a lot of this one. I think I just like the
Just like the
full
wings.
bodysuit on the other
Mhm.
one. Yeah. Penta, we drafted him. We drafted this one, did we?
No,
We did.
no.
No, we didn't draft this one.
Oh, like we did.
Oh wow. thought we
I
drafted
kind of almost put this on here like for my wife too. My wife is a huge Clueless fan, so I saw this and I was like, "Ah, she'd love
Yeah.
that."
The Clueless reference is definitely there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Shouts out Claire.
Dominic, our former champion.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only fit he had.
I liked it just because it was ECW tribute, and really it was just ECW colors too. Like there was really nothing else on here.
Honestly, if I thought about like making him one of the bye week choices, because he was a former champion, but it wasn't good enough.
No, I agree.
I was like, I really like bye weeks really need to be like
definitive.
They could win. Like this could really win. So let's like make sure they get in there type thing.
Yeah.
But this was not. I was never picking Dom with that cow vest.
I was never a fan of the. I never liked the combo of purple and red. It just don't look good to the eye to me.
It's one of those few color. Like there's a lot of color combinations that like work really well, and like for some reason like bright red and bright purple.
Like red don't go with everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
They kind of clash a little bit.
And purple doesn't really go with everything either.
Only certain colors.
Yeah, like you really got to do it with like blue and like orange for like Halloween references and
maybe
This was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
This is also drafted.
I don't remember.
I thought this one was cool. I like that she wore. I like that she pulled out a mask instead of doing the makeup. You know,
True.
Yeah, it was very different too. You don't really see. I feel like the only other person who's really done, because this is very like Aztec, and I know that Ray has done stuff like that, and so have the Lucha Bros.
Yeah,
but I've never seen any women do anything like this, so I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I agree.
It was so different than any of the Rosa's other looks too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So she sticks very much to the makeup, sugar skull, like
put a T and an R.
Yeah,
and then we're good.
She sticks very much to that. So
yeah,
this is very something different for her, but this is sort of a plain normal Jade fit for me.
Yeah. The red pops. You know what I mean? The red pops.
It does pop. Yeah, but she had her pixie cut. Is that pixie cut? No, she got the half shave.
I don't think that's considered a pixie cut.
It looked good. That's all I know is that it looked good.
Silver instead of gold. It's kind of what this is, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Green has always been Jade's color, though.
Yeah. Well,
Jade's always been good with green.
Jade is green.
Jade is green.
I just love I love a good neon green too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Neon green always pops.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I had that one. Drafted. This one was good. Looks denim, very denim. Very Cowboy Carter Beyonce.
Now that you're saying it, this is kind of bringing me back to high school with like rhinestoned denim jeans.
This ain't Texas. Ain't no hold'em. That type of shit.
They're not all winners, guys. That's why they don't all get drafted.
No, but this is why they're here. There was another Bailey.
Yeah,
King, Queen of the Ring, black and orange.
The two different color boots is throwing me off, especially because the one isn't. If the one was orange,
if it was orange,
I get it.
Yeah, if it was orange, if it was orange, like your whole fit's orange, all of a sudden you got a yellow boot.
Yeah, that was throwing me off. I did not notice that when I put this on here, but it's really bothering me now.
I didn't notice it right now either.
Yeah, I mean, I like it as a whole, but that yellow just throws it off totally.
Yeah. That was in there. That was also in there.
I don't know if this might probably not a reference you're getting, Nick. I don't know. Do you get this one too, Con, or no?
No, I like that.
Do you get the reference though, the Hayabusa tribute?
Nah, I ain't even gonna pretend like I do.
There is a wrestler in the mid-90s named Hayabusa. He was a Japanese wrestler, and he was very, very influential. But he was very young. He was like in his mid-20s, and he did a moonsault in a match, broke his neck, paralyzed, never wrestled again. So that's what his match looked like a little bit there. So it was Will doing a tribute to him.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I do like that, and that mask is cold as fuck.
Mask is dope. Yeah.
I like the boxing robes and putting Reebok on it too, because they had just come out with like their shoe and stuff with it. I thought that was like kind of a like a bold in your face move to just put the brand name on there.
Yeah.
So that's why I was into it.
I don't hate the colors. I hate
the colors. I hate the colors.
You like all that color shit going on?
Very busy to me.
The print is the zebra print.
I don't even mind the zebra print. I think it's the vests underneath that bother me.
That makes it,
If they just didn't have, if they were just shirtless like they used to wrestle or something, and just had these robes on, I'd be like, all right. But yeah, the vest makes it a lot.
Yeah.
I like the gauntlets.
I do like the gauntlets.
It's very superhero, like we all like.
Yeah, it's like a different variation of Batman.
Yeah, I like how they kind of his the inside of his jacket is like dragon scales, kind of. I think that's cool.
Okay,
it's okay to me. I mean, y'all know how I felt about that one.
Still one of the best. Yeah, still one of the best. This could have won, I think, if it didn't have some other stiff competition. But
very 101 Dalmatians right? Call out.
That's okay.
I love that. I'm a big Tasha Steelz fan. I don't think she's used enough. I think that leather jacket's cool.
It's very 80s.
I love a leather jacket where they just put a bunch of shit on it like this.
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell, yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the winner.
The winner.
This is cool. Very obviously very topical.
Yeah.
At the time.
Sure.
I'm a huge Deadpool fan. He is my favorite superhero, has been for many, many years. So I love seeing any little tribute to a Deadpool.
Did you like the last movie?
I love the last movie. I'm at a point where the only good superhero movies that come out anymore are Deadpool movies or Spider-Man. All the rest suck. Marvel has had a huge downfall, and DC has never known how to make a good movie. They've made like 2 or 3 good movies, and the rest of them are awful.
I think I'm a big Marvel guy. MCU guy mainly. I didn't know. I'm not a comic person or anything like that, but I'm big into the Marvel stuff. I haven't disliked a lot of what Marvel's been doing. But yeah,
Phase 4 was a mistake. Okay,
there was a lot of
downhill since then. We just watched fucking Kraven.
We were just talking about this.
Yeah, we're. Oh, the Sony stuff is really bad.
Yeah,
no, the Sony stuff is really bad. All this, like, I don't talk about that stuff when I discuss it because it's just that's not the stuff I'm interested in. But I was having.
Well, again, we're talking Sony. We're talking Spider-Man. Spider-Man is always good. Just not the
Tom Holland. That stuff's really good. Yeah, no, you're right. I was talking with Jeff, shout out our boy Jeff. He's a huge Marvel Comics guy.
Massive. He's a big comic book guy.
They had just released a trailer, another trailer for the Thunderbolts movie that's coming out like next month or something like that. And the main villain of that movie is Sentry, which is basically like this evil Superman version of in Marvel. And so I asked Jeff about it, and he was like, I was like, who's Sentry? And he goes, it's basically like evil Superman. I was like, how the fuck are they gonna have the Thunderbolts, who are like the anti, like the second level, third level Avengers, go after fucking Sentry? And it led into a conversation of they've been downplaying a lot of the fucking the villains in Marvel because of how they have to tell these movies and how they got to get these movies off.
So this is why I think Marvel made a mistake with Phase 4. Because, so we got, beginning, we got all of our favorites, right? We got the ones that everybody knows. We got Captain America and Iron Man and Black Widow. We got all them, right? And then they went, you know what? We're going to sprinkle in a couple that only hardcore fans know of, like the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, ones like that, right? But we're going to use these other characters like Captain America and all that. We're going to use them to introduce these characters to a new audience who have no idea who they are, right? So then instead of continuing to do that, because I understand that, you know, it's been a lot of movies in the past 10 years, and I understand that they go, okay, we really need to end these characters. You know, we need to end their stories. But by killing them all off, and then they killed them all off all at once, and then just went, we're going to take a bunch of B characters and we're going to give them their own movies and people are going to care. Well, no, they're not, because you literally killed off all of the characters that casual fans know of, instead of using them to slowly introduce these B characters to them, get them known and popular, and then kill off the ones we know. So that was, in my opinion, that was a big mistake on Marvel's part.
I agree a little bit. I say, I only say that to say that, like,
I halfway agree.
Again, I'm not a comics person. So when you started the MCU, you started with a very blank slate. So when you did Iron Man 1, you made him cool because I just happened to go watch Iron Man.
Sure.
And you made him cool, right?
Sure.
And then you already kind of sprinkled in the fact with Hulk, who is a fan favorite, that these movies are connected, right? So you got Iron Man, then you got the Hulk, and it's like, okay, Robert Downey Jr., Nick Fury, that these guys are connected. And then you introduce Captain America, who I knew of Captain America, but I wasn't really interested in him. And honestly, I didn't really watch a lot of the Captain America movies until way later. Me personally. I did like Chris Evans though. So I think I say all that to say that it's like, you, with people who weren't comic fans, you did have to build the characters the same way they're building the characters now. I think but
I disagree with that. And let me give you an example, right?
Okay.
Did you watch Eternals?
Yes.
Did you watch Shang-Chi?
Yes.
Do you feel that Marvel went out of their way to make those characters cool like they did with Iron Man? Because I don't. I don't feel like they did at all. I feel like they just went, here's a standalone movie, and we're not going to expand on this. And they didn't.
With Eternals, okay, the second part of what you said, I agree. They did not expand on either of those things. However, I think Shang-Chi was good. I think they told his story very well, and I am interested in Shang-Chi. The fact that they didn't expand on him, I will agree. They did not. The fact that they're just throwing him in Doomsday is a little annoying to me.
Yeah.
However, I have said that I did not like the Eternals movies. I think the Eternals movies should have been a series where they literally should have been like, each episode should have been about one of the Eternals.
Yeah.
And then maybe like the second half of the fucking, like, it should have been like a 12-part series where like the first 6-7 episodes should have been about the Eternals, and then the next like 4, it should have been very much broken down.
Yeah,
so yes,
way too many characters to introduce in a 2 to 3 hour movie. Way too many.
You wanted me to care
about them.
You wanted me to care about 12 people
that I've never heard of before.
In the matter of 2 hours. No fucking way. So I agree with you there.
Yeah.
So but I think they did better jobs with Kamala Khan. With Miss Marvel, I think they did a really good job with her. I liked her show a lot.
Yeah.
It was more like a kid level show. So like if you're a 30-plus-year-old man, you may not understand it, but I took it for what it was, and I like Kamala Khan now, especially after they expanded on her character too. So that is something that we can talk about MCU forever. But they did expand on Miss Marvel because they put her in the other movie too, the Marvels. And they did, like how you said, introduce her with a character that we know, Captain Marvel. So
I'll be honest with you, though, I think the Captain Marvel movie sucked.
The Captain Marvel movies did suck. The first one did. Did they have 2? No, they didn't have 2. That was the second one, right?
Yeah.
I like the second one a lot better.
Yeah.
The Marvels, that movie was good. I liked the movie a lot. Yeah. Captain Marvel was and then you had Captain Rambeau from WandaVision. So I think the series did a lot for people, and I think people did MCU injustice by not watching a lot of the series, and then they shit on a lot of the series just because they were series.
WandaVision mind fucked me, man. I loved
WandaVision, dude.
I was like, what is going on? I don't know what is happening right now.
And that's how you're supposed to feel the whole time.
Yeah. I like the way they ended it, but spoiler alert. But
and then that leads into, you know, they have had some trouble expounding on some characters.
I'm looking forward to this new Daredevil series.
It's coming out already.
It's already out. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
My wife never saw the original Netflix Daredevil one, which is one of my all-time favorite Marvel things in general, period. So she's watching that right now so that we can watch it together. The first Marvel series, boy, that shit was...
Yeah, the Netflix Marvel series gets a lot of good.
Punisher was great.
I gotta watch a lot of it. I've watched the first 2 seasons of Daredevil. I haven't watched the full blown of Daredevil because me and Kat were watching at the same time. We kind of were getting distracted.
Sure.
So we just kind of moved on to different shows. Yeah. But yeah. We can talk about MCU forever. I love MCU.
Oh yeah.
Let's kind of
not Con. Con doesn't give a shit right now.
No, I'm an MCU fan.
Yes, he likes it a little bit. But I think he agrees with you more though that like it's a lot.
I don't watch any of the series shows. I definitely don't watch the series. I watch the films, and I have read the comics. So
yeah. This one was drafted. Again,
I thought it was cool, but then it just kind of became her look too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of just what she wears, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Jamie Hayter though. Yeah. I think the look
it was different.
Is better with what's her name with her and
with with everything,
Yeah. But good pick. One of the good picks there. Another one. This one was cool.
Yeah. I think I like this one mostly because it was like kind of like a Scott Hall thing with the blood drip.
I see what you're saying.
I'm a huge Scott Hall fan. Top 5 for me all time. So
this one was cool.
Yeah,
more like a pajama fit.
Nah, I'm good on it.
No? All right.
Nah, you look silly as shit.
They're not all winners.
Nope, that's why they didn't get drafted.
That's
why this is just what we had.
Yeah, that ain't it, dude.
Another just kind of normal fit.
Yeah,
for me.
Cool.
Kind of just what she wears.
Yeah.
Mm.
Another Masha. I do like the jacket.
Yeah, Masha's got a good feel on leather jackets. That's what I feel like it is right now. She's coming to an indie show for me in like 2 months. I'm definitely going to meet her.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Awesome. That's kind of a black version of the one he was wearing at Raw, ain't it?
A little bit.
Pretty much. Not to speed things up. I gotta take care of these dogs.
Let's get out of here. We talked about enough of them. We've been here for over 2 hours.
Yeah.
We did. All right, y'all.
You know what I love about this podcast, fellas? None of us have a problem with at some point being like, you know what, I'm done. Let's end this.
Can I add to that?
Sure. Yeah.
One small story, and then we're gonna get the fuck up out of here, right? But I am amongst any friend group, and any friend group that I've been a part of will attest to this. If we are all out and about, I'm the friend that's gonna say, "Yo, I'm getting tired.
Yeah,
it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to go." So, and a lot of people have commented how they appreciate that because, you know, some people just socially, it can be looked down upon if you're the person that, you know, vocalizes it first so you're ready to go. Nick and I used to be friends with a couple that didn't necessarily, I ain't gonna say both people from the couple, but one of them did not like that I would do that. So we come to like, it'd be like let me paint this picture, Am. It's gonna be super quick. We have my apartment. We hanging out. My social battery gets low.
Mhm.
Right. Around 11 o'clock, I say, "Hey y'all, love y'all. Y'all gotta roll. Y'all
Yeah.
gotta roll." And this one particular person used to have a problem with that, and she vocalized that, which I thought was really wild because you're not paying rent, but you're vocalizing how you have a problem with me kicking you out of my apartment. But that's another story we can get into later. So when I was asked to not do that anymore, which again, very wild, I would
Who
just
asked you to not do that?
Man, come on, bruh.
She asked you not to do that? No,
Fam,
no, I know.
I'm
back up.
Yeah.
Back up. I know who you're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
asking, is she the one who said don't do that?
Yes.
Oh my fuck. Okay, I'm stopping.
So I was asked not to do that no more, which I thought was pretty nuts. So what I would do instead, right, just because I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings, because when I vocalize that I'm feeling less than positive about something, I've been told that I'm a buzzkill, which is still wild. Instead of just telling people go home, I would just get up and leave the room and go to bed. Most of the time, I wouldn't even say, "All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all. See y'all later." I'll just get up, go in the room and go to bed.
I like that. My wife and I, we have a saying that we say to each other. It's because we admit that we probably have about a 3 to 4 hour social battery.
Yeah, me and Sheila are pretty,
even if
too.
it's just us being out,
being
out. We got about 3 to 4 hours, and at some point, one of us will eventually look at the other and go,
"You ready to go? You ready to go?"
That's our phrases. I've had enough.
Had enough.
Ours is me and Sheila's is how you doing? It's very subtle, right? It's very subtle. Just,
I like that one.
How you doing?
It's very much like I know the answer to this question, but
right,
I'm letting you know that I know the answer.
Yeah,
to this
by the time you asking them that question, they're probably
You
on the
already
same
know.
page as you. They just waiting on somebody to just like give them the confirmation they're looking for.
Yeah. So guys, I've had enough.
Hey, how you doing?
And to the people that feel uncomfortable being that person, give it a shot. You know what I mean? Give it a shot.
Nah, give it a whirl, bro.
You'd be surprised how good it feels.
With each other.
You'd be shocked how good it feels.
Yeah. We're all done. And that's it. The show's over.
I'm tired, man. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Keep it kinky.
Man, I'll do it.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done.